How are you doing today? It is Friday, and I am coming to you with how to break the cycle of procrastination. I know that I work with a lot of business-oriented people, but we procrastinate in our daily lives too. I have 3 loads of laundry to put away that I'm procrastinating like the best of them. So I want to talk to you about procrastination today and how you can break that cycle and give you a little bit of insight into why I think that this is so important, because procrastination has a lot to do with confidence. It is something that can be solved by mindfulness. When you're aware of something that you're procrastinating, you can start outsmarting yourself by providing a better reward. Okay, so many people forget about the reward system, and humans work so well on reward, but most people think that money is a reward. What if experience is an award? Or something that you get to do to make a memory with somebody isn't a reward. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about procrastination and how important it is to recognize that you're doing it, first of all. I know many of us do it on a daily basis, and we recognize it and then we push it under the rug. But what it actually gives us an opportunity for is growth. It gives us an opportunity to reflect on why we're procrastinating that specific task. Now, 9 times out of 10, the task is something that makes us feel uncomfortable. It's outside of our comfort zone. It's one where we could have some feedback that maybe is not as desirable, right? Maybe you're putting yourself out there with an idea at a board meeting. Maybe you're having a conversation with your partner and you've listened to something new and you're like, hey, wait a second, this is a really great conversation that we should have together. But discovering that procrastination can live in many different areas is really important, because as you start to recognize it in your life, you can start to understand why you do it. If you're learning something today and you want to learn more, click the subscribe button below, and I'd love to see you again. And how you can overcome it is actually quite simple. It's knowing exactly what the result of the activity that you're procrastinating will give you. And why do you want that result? If you start focusing on why you want to do something, it is way more important than anything else. Even if you make mistakes, a lot of people procrastinate because of perfectionism. They want to be perfect when they do it. I used to be that way. Being a hairstylist actually taught me how to stop thinking as a perfectionist, because I recognized that I could go to school, I could get the best grades in class, but when I walked into that salon, there was nothing that could fast forward my education like doing, right? To master a craft, you need to do it for 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours. And so I had to recognize that even though I was at the top of my class and aced all my exams, that walking into a salon environment where people have been doing that exercise every single day for 10, 15, 20 years, they're going to have more life experience than me. But here's the opportunity. Instead of being hindered by that experience and thinking I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, I had an opportunity to learn from people that were better than me. Right? I had an opportunity to link arms with people that had more confidence than me, that had a better skill set than me. And this is something that I want to bring up because it is so important. You know, one of the things that I talk about a lot is being a mom. Being a mom changed everything for us, for me personally, but for us. My husband knew me as somebody that was goal-oriented. I worked really hard. I still am those things. But being a mom shifted my attention, and it shifted what was important to me as a reward. All of a sudden, financial gain, vacations, all those things were not the reward that I was looking for. It was the freedom to spend my time doing what I wanted when I wanted to do it. It was spending more time with my daughter, more time with my husband, making memories, and being a conscious parent, being there to raise her, being there to share my morals and values with her, to raise her as a strong, confident woman, to help her with her communication skills and her problem-solving skills, to create her independence as quickly as possible and nurture the pieces of her that were frustrated in the process so that we could grow and learn together. You know, one of the most difficult things I think for moms is thinking that they have to choose. Hey, Steph, how's it going? They think that we have to choose between being a mom and having a career, because you inevitably feel like you're going to drop the ball on either side. When you're working, you feel like you're not as good of a parent, that great mom guilt. When you're at home with your babies, you feel like you should be working and contributing financially to lower the stress in your household, right? So we feel like we're caught between a rock and a hard place. But one of the things that I absolutely stand for is that we can have it all, right? As moms, it just takes a little bit of confidence and a little bit of courage. We can have a thriving career, especially now. Everybody's working from home, right? So many businesses around the globe have shifted and changed over this past year to have a work from home model, which I think is a massive win for society in general, because now we get to spend more time together as a family, more time with our kids. It's so incredible to be able to do those things. Now, the other thing that happens is we get to spend that time. We get to raise our kids. They're not away from us all the time. One of the things, and this is just my value, like how I was raised with a stay-at-home mom, and it was something that I really wanted to be there for my daughter. I know that the first 7 years of her life are extremely important. They're extremely important to shape who she's going to become. And I wanted to be the person that raised her. I wanted to be the person that supported her and encouraged her and was there for her when she made mistakes or gave her some grace, I wanted to be the person that could communicate with her through difficult challenges. And so creating a life where I could also contribute financially, where I could also be myself, where I could also strive to help other people, where I could also strive to hit new goals that were for me, what does that do? That shows her that she can live this life too. That when you find a passion and a purpose, it just takes a little bit of courage and confidence to overcome that and become mindful of growing a skill, right? I also believe in this you can have it all mentality, that you can make a massive global impact if you choose to. You can also be the best stay-at-home mom who cooks organic, healthy meals for your family, takes care of them. There is no one role that you need to fit. But what I want to tell you is that you are not stuck in one role either. You get to decide, and you get to decide at every level of your life. In your 20s, you live a certain level of life. In your 30s, you live a different level of life. In your 40s, you can shift and change and pivot at any time. Look at what's happening in the world. We're all pivoting and changing, right? There's no going back to pre-pan, right? Now we're in the gig economy. What does that mean? Is that people are making money in all different ways in multiple streams of income, and they're using devices to do it because technology is advancing so quickly. And technology has actually allowed us the space where we can have it all. The reason I'm talking about this is because we have to believe before we shift. We have to believe in ourselves before we shift. And so not only do I believe that you can have a massive career, you can be a conscious stay-at-home parent and spend as much time with your family as you want, you can make a massive impact, you can also create your own personal freedom. How many moms out there would like some time to themselves? I don't care if you go to the beach and read a book, go for a hike by yourself, you go on a vacation by yourself, take a weekend off, right? But you have the freedom to do those things when you create an environment where everybody in your household works as a team. When you communicate, when you ask for help, when you enable your children to take part in family responsibilities and have bigger conversations. One of the best things that we ever learned was Izzy was way smarter than we were giving her credit for. We would speak to her as a 2 or 3-year-old. But when I recognized that she was processing at a higher level because of the questions she was asking, I started treating her like an adult. I mean, there are certain topics that, are age appropriate, but I started speaking to her like I would speak to other adults. And what in turn happened was when she was confused and didn't understand, she would ask questions and I would explain, and it would give me an opportunity to bond with her, right? And then furthermore, her vocabulary, how she speaks to others, the questions and consideration, kindness and thoughtfulness that child has. Her teachers rave about her at school because she's the kid that's kind. She's the kid that includes all the other kids. She's the kid that goes out there and makes everybody come together because she's a light. And I've always taught her to be herself and that kindness is king over everything else. So we have a choice right now to procrastinate the life that we know we could have, or we know is available to others, or not quite sure yet if we are available, if that life is available to us, but we've seen others around us maybe make gains, make steps, make changes and shifts, and maybe we're still sitting there in our own thoughts, in our own minds, procrastinating, wondering if we can do it. And you know what's normal? It's that we say those things to ourselves. Our brains are developed so that they're constantly keeping us safe. They're running through a million scenarios that you're never going to think of automatically. And you don't even have to process them. It's just automatically running you through all of these different scenarios to keep your physical body safe, right? And so those often unrealistic scenarios are running through your head all the time, and we equate them to our thoughts. So I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. I dropped out of university. I'm just a mom. We say those things out loud, and that is so not true. And I have to tell you that procrastination lives in a lack of belief and confidence. So what do? How do we fix that, right? How do we fix those things? Well, I had to learn through personal development, through therapy, through mentors and coaches. I had to pay to get around people that had a better thought process than me, that had a bigger vision, bigger dreams, and could pour belief and confidence in me and say, hey, I see something in you that you don't yet see in yourself, but we're going to work through it, and you're going to produce something that will allow you the confidence to move forward. And so the reason I brought up having it all in a family is that I believe that these are the tools that we need to engage with our kids. These are the things that we need to pour belief and confidence and courage into our kids, and not have adverse reactions to when they fail or giving them a hard time when something goes wrong. It's, hey, what do we learn from that? How can we move forward together? Let's see the light on this side and what happened, instead of becoming a victim and letting things happen to them. Right? People who are victims see life happening to them. People who are not see life happening for them and unfolding before them, and understand that they have a choice. And right now you have a choice. You have a choice to procrastinate the way that your life is right now, or you have a choice to move forward. You have a choice to commit to something, right? Are you interested in doing what you're procrastinating right now, or are you committed to making it happen? Those two things are completely different, because if you're interested, you're going to talk about it, you're going to wish for it, you're going to want for it, you might even tell your friends, but you're not going to take an actionable step today or tomorrow or the day moving forward. If you are committed to change and changing a behavior of procrastination, no matter what the goal is, no matter what you're procrastinating, doing the laundry, right? That would take me 20 minutes to do if I actually just went and did it. But what's going to happen? It's going to take me 9.5 hours today, because I'm not going to do it until the end of the day because I'm procrastinating. I mean, that's kind of a bad example because I have a priority list of tasks that make sense to me. But my point is that your procrastination comes because you're interested in doing something that you're not committed to. If you have decided and committed, even without courage, even without confidence, and you've just decided to go for it, you're going to start today to move one step forward. You're going to start today to do some research, to ask some questions, right? For example, how many people need to get life insurance? How many people have a family, a mortgage, and kids and don't have life insurance? Okay, that to me would be a necessity. Why do we procrastinate it? Because we don't want to talk about dying, because it's another cost that we don't see happening. But I have lost friends. I have seen families devastated because they didn't have life insurance and a terrible accident happened. And I'm not willing, on that off chance that it's me or my husband, to leave this world and the people behind that I love with a massive, massive amount of debt and problems that I could have simply avoided had I made a phone call, had I asked a question, had I reached out to somebody and asked for a referral, right? So we procrastinate the things that make us feel uncomfortable. We procrastinate the things that we worry about, but we don't know how to move forward. So what I'm going to tell you is, number one, instead of being interested in something, right? Be committed. Make the choice to be committed And then get in front of somebody that is doing what you want to do and start asking questions. And then with courage, even if you lack confidence, with courage, put one foot in front of the other and start taking action. Even if you make mistakes, even if it blows up in your face and you have to say sorry, even if you have to correct it, right? I've lost lots of money making mistakes. I've also lost friends making mistakes. I have lost opportunities making mistakes. But you can bet damn well that I learned from them and that I will never make those mistakes again, ever. It's part of growth. It's part of learning. We are not perfect as a human species. And so we procrastinate. And those things only hold us back and make us feel worse. Because even if you took one small step forward, you'd feel a little bit better about working towards what you actually want. So I encourage you to practice mindfulness. When you know that you're procrastinating doing something, you've written a list, and that thing is on your list for a week straight and you still haven't done it, why are you procrastinating it? What is the real threat? What is the outcome that you're going to miss out on? And what is the reward if you actually do it? So those are the three things that you should consider when you're procrastinating. I hope this helps some of you move through where you are right now, knowing that you are fully capable right now in this moment. You are enough to accomplish whatever you want in this life. You might not have an education. You might not have the skill set, but you are fully capable of learning if you choose to learn. And all you need to know is why you're motivated. And you need to know that at a deep level that resonates with your belief system, your values, your morals, how you show up and who you want to help in this lifetime. And if that's in alignment, you don't need anybody to motivate you. You don't need anybody to inspire you. You don't need anybody to get you over procrastination, because you're in alignment with your purpose and you will absolutely execute the life that you want. Now, it might not happen as fast as you want. It might not happen in the amount of time that you want. You may have to overcome challenge after challenge after challenge. Most people underestimate the adversity they have to go through to create what they want. But on the other side of that is exactly what you want. So the next level of your life, whatever that means to you, whether it's having another child or growing your income or changing careers or going back to school or finding a solid relationship or whatever that aspect, working on your health, working on spirituality, whatever that next level of life is for you, it's on the other side of the thing that you are not doing right now that you know that you have to do. So, homework, if you're watching and you're still watching, go make one small step today to work towards something that you've been procrastinating for a long time that you really want. Maybe it's picking up a new hobby. Maybe you want to join a choir. Maybe you want to learn how to fly fish. Maybe you want to buy real estate and don't know where to start. Start asking questions. Anyways, hope you have an amazing Friday. Have a great long weekend. For those of you in the States and for those of you in Canada, I hope you had a great long weekend last weekend, but it looks like this one's going to be one for the books too. Bye for now. If you think this video can help a friend, make sure you share it.